Hello, and welcome to this brand new episode of our podcast. Today, I have the honor of interviewing Devendra Sawant. Devendra Sawant is a com science graduate from Mumbai University, and he's been in the IT industry for over a decade and a half. He has worked with many multinational companies with the likes of Hangama, which is one of the biggest players in terms of MP3 music. And today he's working with Prevesera, another company. In between, he also worked with Aditya Birla Group. There's a lot of companies that he worked with, including Tata's also. So his journey has been amazing. And most importantly, what I would say his contribution, what I learned is his contribution to the world in terms. Recently, Devendra also got invited on his college uh, academics group. I mean, this college wants to go into an autonomous mode where they invited Devendra to be the subject matter expert. I think that's the highest honor, in my opinion, when your own college calls you up where you studied and they want your inputs in terms of a subject matter expert to create curriculum for the upcoming students. I think that's phenomenal. That's, I would say, that's his prime achievement than the decade and a half that he spent, that he was called over by the college where he studied to frame academic portion for the next generation. So that's Devendra for you. Amazing experience, amazing person, and we're going to have some fantastic time with him with great sort of answers and in-depth understanding and stories on his personal journey of decade and a half in IT industry. So tune in, stay in with this, and let's keep going. Call us. Devendra, can you tell me what was that incident or what happened that made you understand that IT is the domain for you and you decided to pursue it at your career?
Okay. So, okay, I guess I'll tell you the real incident of my life.
Okay.
Basically, in 2002 or 3, I did my 10th. Okay. And that time I watched 16 December movie. You heard 16 December movie. And in that movie, there is like some one shot where the a kid who hacked the computer and do some R&D and write some code. He hacks his voice and all those stuff has happened that time, and that inspired me and fascinates me, like how things are happening like that, like how computer is doing all those things.
Correct.
And that makes my interest toward the computer. And this is how I started. Then my brother, actually my cousin who has a computer at his home. So I used to go there. I used to do some that was black and white computer, and I used to play a game. So I was fascinated, like who is playing behind my monitor, and how can I see all those images and what is happening exactly. So that makes more curiosity and my interest toward the computer programming language, how things are happening there. So this is how my interest has started. Then I did my 12th, of course, in science, of course. And then I was preparing for engineering, and I was interested to go for an information technology or computer science kind of a field. I prepared for 1 year, so I've prepared for CAT. So for that I've wasted. I mean, I did my BSc for 1 year to do the preparation, because first attempt got it was unsuccessful. I didn't get the expected result out of it. So I tried again. I spent 1 more year there, and again, I mean, I didn't got the college or university which I was looking for.
Right.
So then I changed my mind, because I mean, I wasn't financially strong that time. So they were asking a lot of money as a
Right.
donation to get a good college. So I thought that I should not spend money there. And then I moved to BSc IT. I did my BSc IT. Okay, I spent 3 years there. And then my actually computer journey actually has started. I've started learning programming language, how computer history and all those stuff. And then things moved ahead, and actually, and I've started enjoying that journey. I've started learning things. I was part of a lot of hackathon and POCs. I used to do, so we used to have a computer lab. I
Right.
used to do a lot of things over the LAN, sharing folders and all those stuff. So even that time we used to get a Ubuntu CD. So I ordered it from Switzerland. So there were four CD. It's an operating system Ubuntu. So that at
Yes.
that time we used to get a four CDs that we
Hmm.
have to install it as an operating system. So I ordered it from there. I installed it in my laptop, and that is how my interest built toward the operating system like Linux and Ubuntu. And when I complete my graduation, I did a certification in Red Hat certification. So
Right.
it's a Red Hat Linux certification.
Right.
And then I got a job as a Linux administrator, and this is how
Right.
my IT journey has been started. So this is
And
overall, my journey toward the technology and computers and programming language and all those stuff.
sure. So
So
just to
yeah,
summarize it, what you meant is the watching a movie of the 16th December kind of triggered your curiosity, and
yeah,
that curiosity was catered by availability of a computer at your cousin's place, and then
correct.
the Sherlock Holmes thing started, and what is it, what is it, what is it, what is it, and after the plus two or 12th standard, you started to identify like what should I do, what should I do, and of course there was an engineering and there was a BSc. Now that brings me to a very different question, because since you were discussing two degrees, one in computer science, both the degrees are there. A person can finish a bachelor's of sciences in com science and they can do a BTech in com science. Now you have been in the industry for very good solid time. Tell me,
Mhm.
what difference does it makes when a person is having a technology BTech in com science, and if he's a BSc in com science, what is the actual difference? Does it make any difference, or what is it?
I see personally, I don't feel difference because I take interviews of a lot of people, okay, and I
Right.
don't look for the degrees. I always look for the kind of knowledge he has, what
Right.
all POC he's done, what all contribution he has done with the company, or
Right.
in his. I mean, as a fresher, someone comes to me, I always look at what all POC, what all R&D he did by his own, any certification he did, and in that certification, did he written some white paper or some POCs or some documentation. I asked toward that, and on the basis of that, I understand what is his attitude, what is his
Right.
thought process toward the technology, and how he is thinking through toward the problem. Like how,
Right.
if he sees the problem, what is his thought process to solve those problems. So this is how we basically his aptitude, his problem solving, his decision making, his communication skill. These are all the soft skills that we look at when we actually evaluate a person as a fresher. And when it comes to experience, we measure on the basis of contribution he did toward the company's technical architecture, like if they have some SaaS model or SaaS product over the cloud or over the on-prem,
Right.
they have some internal product, or if it is a service company, if they are serving some third-party clients
Hmm.
projects or something like that, what all
Hmm.
major contribution they have done, and how that how that contribution impact the company business as well as his own improvement. So those all things matters when we take the interviews, and this is how we evaluate. And we also look at how is answering all those problems, like
Right.
what is the method of, what is the process of answering those problems. Will we follow that process of answering that? Like we follow a star method
Hmm.
where we
Hmm.
take a solution, as a situation. So S stands for situation, T stands for task, stands for action, and R stands for result.
Right.
So first he goes to the situation, then he
Hmm.
explained me the task he did,
Hmm.
then he defined the action as a teamwork or as an individual he takes on
Hmm.
that, and then R as a result of that particular action. So
Got
this
it.
is how we look at how he explain all those problems, all those situations. So this is our
Fantastic.
overall we observe when
Right.
we
Right.
evaluate person as a
So,
fresher and as an
yeah.
experience.
So, what you say is it doesn't matter whether he's a com science, he did a science as a bachelor's degree, or he did an engineering. At the end of the day, what matters in terms of your experiences, his knowledge, his way of approaching the problem solving, how is he solving the problem, his
Mhm.
attitude. And you also mentioned about soft skills and also a particular approach of star, which we explained. Now that brings me to the natural question of the third. You talk about soft skills. Now, Devendra, you have taken interviews, right? So if there is a
Mhm.
candidate and you're interviewing him or her, what are the two or three or even four soft skills that you're looking at instantaneously in the interviews? Like, okay, these are one, two, and three soft skills. If this is there, this person is a right fit for my organization or to work with me. What are those soft skills?
Okay. Actually, when I mean, it changes person to person. So I
Right.
mean, every person has his own thought process, own
Right.
evaluation method.
Right.
So I what I generally follow is an attitude, how we
Attitude.
look
Okay.
at the issue. Yeah. So I mean, if he has a right attitude, if he has a right approach to accept the problem and find the solution on it.
Right.
So I mean that matters to me. Like, see, what IT does is our major task toward is solve the problem. If it
Right.
is a medical problem, if it is a educational problem, if it is a fundamental problem, if it is a technical problem, if it is a generic e-commerce or anything like that. I mean, what matters to us is what we are contributing to the society and how society
Absolutely.
is using it. I
Right.
mean, that and how we contribute to with the help of technology. So
Right.
that's our basically contribution toward the society, or you can say a contribution toward the human human race.
Right.
So basically, I majorly look at the attitude. So
Attitude.
I used to give him some certain scenarios like this
Hmm.
is so see, this is what the problem that we are facing on our website. Like we are getting 500 error on our website. So how you
Right.
will treat that problem? What is your troubleshooting method? How you will
Correct.
see that problem? If person tell that yeah we will go do this, we'll do that, and no, this is now how you answer the question. You have to first understand the question, listen carefully, and then you will come from the first point. What is the first level of troubleshooting? Like what you will do first. This will be the second step. This will be the third step. So your second step it's depend on the output of the first action. So if your first action failed, then you will take this second action, then you will take this third action. Oh, this is how your troubleshooting step, and this is actually a process. So if you have a right process of doing anything, you will succeed, or you will get a desired output in the minimal step. Okay, but if you don't follow the right process, you will keep on doing things, and sometime you will succeed. Sometime it takes. I mean, if one of the problems gets solved in 5 minutes, or sometime you have to spend 5 days on the same problem. So
Right.
it
Right.
matters how you look at the problem, what process you follow, and how you take action on the basis of that. So
Got it. Got
this
it.
is actually what matters to me.
Yeah. So the one soft skill that you said is the attitude that's really matters, and the way the person is approaching a problem. That's the first thing. Is there anything else apart from the attitude that you think can make a person or make because since this is for freshers, can make them grow faster? I mean, anything else like maybe you have explained about understanding and listening. So
Mhm.
are those how important are those factors, listening and understanding?
Okay, so sorry. Basically, no. Apart from problem solving, is
Hmm.
it's a learning ability.
Learning, very nice. Hmm.
Ability. So why learning ability? I'll tell you. The biggest factor of learning ability helps you to grow in IT industry, because in every 6 months there is a new update into IT industry.
Yes, yes, yes. You're right.
Yeah, every 6 months you will get something new into the technology and you have to learn it. Even
Right.
I mean, I'm still learning. Last in May, I did a certification in Kubernetes. I did certification in Microsoft Azure. So I
Right.
mean, I have for 15 years of experience into IT industry, but still I have to my learning is still not finished. I have to still learn. I have to still I have to give some certifications and some exams. So if you don't have learning ability or learning skill, or you can say a curiosity toward the new technologies, what's new is happening around me.
Right.
So go and read some blogs, understand few RSS feeds, and adapt some documentation, some white paper, understand the problem. How can you adapt this problem in your real life
Right.
issues and all those stuff. So those all things matters,
Right.
because if you don't have learning skill, you cannot survive more than 2 years in IT industry.
Right.
You have to be open to learn whatever is new around the inside in the technology and around the world. So
Absolutely.
learning skill is one of the important
Very, very supremely important. I think the guest before you also said the same thing. I think it's the
yeah.
IT industry is super evolving every other day, every other month. It's evolving. You need to
Yes,
embrace new technology and you have to forget what you have learned because it may go outdated. So anybody, as you rightly said, if more than 2 years you're not able to learn or you don't want to learn, you're going to get
correct.
obsolete and thrown out of the system. Amazing. So Devendra, you mentioned about reading blogs, and so
Mhm.
Being a fresher, if I'm a fresher in the industry, what kind of blogs you want me to do? Are there any particular courses that a fresher can take up in order to scale up their knowledge, or any kind of books they might want to read?
Okay. I'll tell you. I mean, when I started my career, I mean, during my time, I mean, learning was the biggest problem because Google was not that huge with the data and all those
Right.
stuff. And the situation, I'll tell you the situation. I'll tell you the background of this basically first. So when I did my graduation in 2009, that time recession has happened because of Lehman Brothers and Satyam issue has happened. I was jobless for 6 months. Then I did some data entry level activity job, and I mean this is how I started my career. And my friends has helped me a lot to get into this career. They helped me with the opportunity. I went there, gave an interview, cleared it, and I joined the company. And this is how my career started. So I mean that time blogs was not that mature, or you can say as what documentation was not there. But for me, mentors helped me a lot to grow. They used
Okay.
to give me a books. They used to guide me. They used to give me a scenario that yeah, this is the scenario you have to learn on the basis of this scenario. And this is how I groom myself.
Right.
And this is how my learning have started. And this is how we have some our internal company documentation. So I used to go there. I used to learn things. So this is how started. But right now, if you ask me, there are huge availability of the documentation. You can go on medium.com. You will get a lot of documentation there. If you want to learn any technology, like if you want to learn Amazon Cloud, you can go on docs.amazon.com. You will get a lot of documentation. If you want to learn Azure or Google Cloud, you'll get a lot. If you want to learn Kubernetes, you'll go Kubernetes docs. You get a lot of documentation available. So that time we used to follow blogspot.com. Google has introduced blogspot.com. So there you used to get some blogs where people, even I used to write blogs. My blog was bashland.blogspot.in. I used to write my own stuff there because I mean there wasn't a centralized documentation available. So I used to create my own documentation there, and I used to access it from anywhere. I used to follow
Right.
it from anywhere. So this is how I mean, see, you have to adapt according to the situation and the
Right.
kind of situation around. Like that time, situation was no documentation available, not such. I mean, a rich content available on the
Right.
internet. Right now, we have a rich content available on the internet, and
And now,
it is
right.
easily accessible. If you ask ChatGPT, he will give fantastic data. He'll collect from different sources and give you the summary out of it.
Right.
So I mean, right now people have people are blessed with a lot of tools which will help with a lot of documentation. So yeah, I
Right.
mean, right now, I mean, they can go on ChatGPT, they can write anything, they will get everything on just one click. But yeah, I mean, right now they have a lot of tools that
Yeah.
can be used to learn or upgrade.
Right, right. So when you started your career, definitely there was a meltdown in IT, as you rightly said, and also the resources were scarce compared to do relatively, as you said now, ChatGPT, Google. I mean, whatever technology you want to learn, companies are offering themselves some courses which you can
Correct.
use it right away without paying much. Apart from that, there are professional certifications available. But the most important word that you use in this particular answer is the mentorship. So Devendra, tell me more about the mentorship. As you rightly pointed out that it was mentors, and mentors are very important. They compress time for
Of
you. If I
course.
put it out, you read a book, you might take years, but with mentors, in few hours, you can just transfers their journey. Tell me more about your mentors from the start of your journey to the mid of the journey, the people you met, and how they changed the course of your career.
Yeah, I mean, with the God grace, I'm blessed with the good friends. Of course, from them, like I've learned a lot. I've got a good, understanding of life as well as the technology. So people around me, like the person who gave me job into IT industry, he was my school friend.
Wow.
He's still my friend, and he was my school friend. He was my senior at that time, and he gave me an opportunity. Devendra, come to the interview to this company. We have opening
Nice.
of Linux administrator. You have done a certification, so you just try it. So I went there. I gave my best, and I got selected there.
Very
Then
nice.
he helped me a lot, like how you can grow. Like I mean, if you want to learn Linux, what all things you have to, because Linux is it's an ocean of uh, uh, you know things like there are kernel, there are operating system, there are commands, there are automation, there are tool setups, security, and all those stuff are there. So he gave me step by step. So he first helped me with the command documentation. Like you have to first understand the commands. How can you manage Linux operating system with a set of commands? Then
Right.
he told me like now move to the next. How you can optimize that? Then I understand optimization. Then I
Right.
move to the setting up certain systems or services on operating system. Like we have a web services, we have
Right.
app services, then we have
Right.
databases, then we have some tools like Kafka, Solar, and all those stuff set up on Linux operating system. So this is how I evolved with the help of friends. So my friends are my mentor. And even till now, I'm blessed with a lot of good friends who has helped me a lot to shape my career. Basically,
Right.
they help me whenever I stuck. I used to call my friend, and he just, come to the any desk. I'll tell you how to do that. And this is
Okay.
how people have helped me. I mean, they never hesitate to share my things. So it's all karma. I am a strong believer of karma. If you do good things, people always give you good things in return.
Right.
So
Right.
if you want to get something good, you have to always give. So that's why,
Right.
if I got a good things and I did a good things in my past, right now I'm helping a lot of freshers with the career guidance. I have my own WhatsApp group where thousands of people have connected, and I'm helping them with the job opportunities, career guidance, study materials, and all those stuff. So if you're getting something from society, then it's your duty to give it back to the society again.
Right.
So
Right.
this is all about like, I'm blessed with the good friends and mentors. My friends are my mentor, you can say. So they
Right.
helped me a lot to groom my career. So this is, overall about my career growth. But of
Fantastic.
course, your own efforts matter. You have to give your best when someone is mentoring you. You should
Right.
not
Right.
ignore them, and you should not take those things negative. So you should
Right.
give your 100% as well. Otherwise, those mentorship will not work on you.
Right.
Because
Right.
of course,
There was any
you have to
particular
follow this.
incident? Yeah. Any particular incident, very small incident, like which you recap today in terms of your mentorship, that you felt that, hey, that was very very turning point and it changed me. Just any small incident that you had, like a conversation.
I'll tell you, it's very interesting, incident of my life. It was 2012 or 2012. I was part of Hangama Digital that time,
Okay.
and mistakenly I have deleted the production data and during the night activity. So it was a production server, and one of our customer was live serving that particular thing to their own customers. So
Right.
I mistakenly deleted it. And the person who helped me to get that job, and actually not helped me, he did a mentorship while working there.
Okay.
So he I got confused. I was got you can say I was scared. What will
Right.
happen? Yeah. My thought process was I wasn't able to think things like I don't know what to do now. So I
Right.
was stuck there.
Right.
So he came to me. He asked me like, Devendra, if such issue happens in your life, you have to be calm.
Oh,
You have to calm
nice.
first. You have to think. You have to think. If you not able to stable your mind, then you will not
Hmm.
able to take the decision.
Hmm. Hmm.
So that night we have recovered that data. We continuously
Wow.
sat for I guess 6 to 7 hours. We have recovered it from the backup,
Wow.
and even customer didn't know that the site went down. So
Oh.
we yeah. So it was actually late night. So as
Oh.
in DevOps, as a Linux administrator, we used to do activity in the late night when
Correct.
people sleep.
Right.
And during that activity, that server data got terminated.
Oh.
So that activity downtime was 2 hours, but that
Hmm.
extended to 6 hours. But it was during the night, so no one knows like how that got extended, and people were.
Wow.
So this is how we. That was the time I was quite confused, and I wasn't know what to do exactly. That time
Right.
that guy told me like you have to be calm, you have to understand what exactly, you have to write down what all mistakes you have done, and
Right.
if you write it down, you will not repeat those. So I have written those, and till now I've never done that mistake. I have never repeated that mistake again in my
Very
life. So
nice.
This is how, I mean,
Good.
people have helped me a lot. Mentorship
Mhm.
helped me to, grown in
Interesting.
my career, basically.
Very good, very good. I think the message that your mentor or friend gave is to be calm. I mean, deleting data from a production server and
Yeah,
restoring it back. That also in that many hours, because Hangama is where they provide is to I remember they provide music, and people
yeah,
will have to access that one of their services. So it could have
correct.
been so I think his words helped you a lot, because he would have
Yes.
experienced the same thing and you lived through him. So yeah, mentorship is every day, as you rightly said, but at the same time attitude of receiving the feedback positively is also very important, as you rightly say. Not to take things negatively, not to take things personally, because
Correct.
mentorship will involve that they are going to pinpoint certain things which we may not be comfortable listening to them, but at the prime thing to understand is it is for our growth and not to take things personally. I agree with you. So Devendra, that brings me to a very beautiful question. IT industry is evolving. So tell me one thing. What is it that keeping you alive and kicking in IT industry? What is that for a decade and a half and many more to go, of course? What is that? What do you wake up in the morning and say, hey, today I'm going to do this? And it gives me a life. Yeah, I'm going to do this.
Okay. I'll tell you the simple answer for that. I mean, it's not that complex. It's a simple. You have to love it. If you
You love
love
it.
the person, you will stay forever with him. This is
Right.
if you love technology, the every day it's a new day for you.
Yeah,
So I mean, technology is an ocean. If you drop your hand into the ocean, you will get something new in your hand. So
absolutely.
this is how, I mean, if you wake up with the new things and you have some target today, like you have to learn this. So you just Google it, you open that blog and start reading it. So this is how, I mean, uh, the simple funda is basically you have to love the technology. If you
You love
love
the technology.
technology, you will survive many decades in the technology. Otherwise, people, I mean, in 10, 15 years, people get frustrated and what I'm doing in this world. I don't
Right.
understand. I'm just wasting my time. I want to
Right.
switch my career into this, into that. I will be something else. So this is how, I mean, people get distracted. But if you love the technology, you will survive till the time you want to get retired. So I mean, this is how it is. Like
So
you have to,
love is very important. You need to love
yeah,
what you do.
you have to love
Loving
your
and learning.
interest, your affection toward the technology. That
Right.
matters a lot.
Absolutely, absolutely. Devendra, how do you manage the work and life balance? I mean, IT industry is ridden with sometimes things hours can get into like many hours, and as
Yeah.
you rightly said, some certain time it demands you to work overnight at times at the start of your career. So how have you managed your, especially your health? How are you balancing that health, emotion aspect, and the family aspect, making sure that everything runs in kind of some kind of balance, if not the perfect one?
Uh, I guess. I mean, wherever I worked, if there is a night activity, we used to get a comp off. So
Right.
I mean, so we used to opt that thing, and we used to taking rest on that day, spending time with the families. This is how it is. It's not that complex, but yeah, time management is one of the key thing that I feel it is important when you work into the IT industry,
Right.
because demand and supply is so high and so
Right.
fast that people are. I see that people work into IT industry. They work more than 10 hours, 10, 12 hours a day. And on the weekends also they have to be on call and they have to do a lot of things.
Right.
But yeah,
Right. Right.
yeah. So in that, of course, you have a company have a leave policy. Company
Right.
have a lot of other engagements. So most of the time, I see that people are taking leave and they're going somewhere else. They go for yoga, they go for some spiritual activity, or they go some trekking and all those stuff. So I mean, it's all situational. Of course, whenever you get frustrated, you feel that I'm done now. I want 5 days holiday, so you take that.
Right.
So I
Right.
mean, I cannot tell like when person gets some people will get frustrated in continuously working for 10 days. Some people get frustrated in continuously working for 10 months. So I mean, it depends on the personality. It depends on the
Right.
thought
Right.
process. I met people who never took leave. I mean, their all leaves get encashed in the next year.
Oh.
And I mean, I have seen the people who don't have leave at the year end. They enjoy
Okay.
their life, and I
Okay.
mean, they take leaves whenever they want. So it's all about how how you manage your own life. So
Correct.
basically, time management is one of the feature that I feel. Then utilize the company policies, company
Right.
leave policies, and all those
Right.
stuff. Utilize that because that's for you. It's not for company. Company has given for you, and you have to use it.
Right.
Okay. Don't. I mean. I'll use those and cash those. I mean, those money is not important that than your family and your own happiness. So you have to
Absolutely.
spend times in yoga or gym, some walking and some health activities. So that is important. So I wake up at 7:30 a.m. I go on walk someday. I go for a gym. I used to do CrossFit that time. Now because of my hectic schedule, I've stopped it. I just do yoga at home. But that time I used to do CrossFit, kickboxing, and all those stuff. But now, I mean, it is situational because that time I used to have time. I was spending with some extra additional activities on my health. But right now I have a time crunch, so I'm doing 20 minutes yoga and some exercise at Surya Namaskar at home, and this is how it is started. So it's all about how you treat your time, how you treat your life,
Right.
how you prioritize your things. So that time health was a priority. I was having less priority at work because there wasn't a pressure. Right now we
Right.
have a work pressure or work priorities there. Now my priorities has changed. I have priorities toward the work, and then health. It's not a less priority, but the time allotment for the health is, earlier it was 2 hours, now it is 1 hour or 20 minutes, something like that. So this is how you have to shift. You have to
Right.
adapt according to the situation.
Understand. There is no one rule fit all. There is no one thing
Correct.
fit all, as you
Yeah,
rightly said.
you
People
have to
have
be
different way.
situational.
Yeah,
Yes,
based on
yes.
situation, what suits
Exactly.
you, what
Yeah.
fit. But definitely you need to balance it out some
Correct.
way or the
Balance
other.
it out. Yeah. So
Absolutely,
balancing,
absolutely.
it's one of the
Time
thing that.
management, as you rightly said, time
Yeah.
management. Sometimes you have time, so that time utilize it to the fullest. Sometimes you may not have, then you have to do what you're supposed to do. So there is no one particular tip that you want to give to the people who are going to appear for an interview. One particular tip if they're coming for IT interview. Okay, guys, you need to do this. If you do this, I think it will help you. One tip.
Okay. Okay, I'll tell you what I've got from my mentors,
Hmm.
and I've adapted that in my life. So
Right.
detailing.
Hmm.
Detailing,
Detailing.
whatever you learn, you should do the detailing of it. If you learn Linux, you should know the concept of it. If you learn Node.js, React, Angular, Flutter, Kotlin, PHP, Python, Perl, data science, data analytics, anything, you have to do the detailing with the basics and the advanced things of it. So detailing is important because questions, you never know what interviewer will ask you the question.
Right.
And if you have done a quite detailing of all those stuff, you will be easy to answer those questions. And if you
Right.
don't, if you won't be able to answer, you at least know around what happening around it, and at least you can
Right.
frame your answer on the basis of that if you don't
Right.
know the exact answer of it. So this is how detailing helps you a lot. Okay, apart from that, your communication skill, your listening skill, you should listen the question carefully. Otherwise, I
Right.
have
Right.
seen people who don't listen the question and answer anything, whatever they feel. So
Oh.
this is now how it has to be. You have to listen carefully, then you have to think, frame your answer, and then give it to them. Don't. I mean, interview is not a race. You have 1 hour of time. Interviewer is set with set of questions,
Right.
and you should not spend. I don't know. You should not quick or fast enough to answer this question. You should take your time, think, and then answer. Interviewers are not Usain Bolt. They don't
Correct.
want
Correct. Correct.
answer in 10 seconds and 15 seconds. you
Right.
you
Right.
take those 10 seconds to think and frame your answer and give it back to the interviewer.
Absolutely.
Because I mean, uh, if you I mean, rather than giving wrong answer, if you think and give right answers, this will impact huge on the interviewer as well as your personality.
Absolutely, absolutely. I agree with you completely. Yes. So
Yes.
a mean is detailing, I think is a very good thing. Whatever you learn, detail it yourself. Whatever the technologies you learn, detailing is very, very important. Second thing, when you go to the interview, listen, don't forecast or don't try to predict the question.
Correct.
Thirdly, take time and answer. This is not a race, because you have time, they have time. Interviewer also knows that a particular question might take a time. So take your time and answer, understand it. So these are the very, very important tips. The one that I love the most is detailing and listening, because listening is coming very constantly during our conversation, that listening,
Correct.
listening, listening, listening. So most of the times, even we also see in life also, people don't listen. They presume, even before you finish the question, they presume that they know what is the question.
Correct.
Unfortunately, it may not be the way, but they presume it and they already frame an answer, and the conversation gets derailed. Absolutely. So, Devendra, thank you so much for your time. Absolutely, I think you have covered the length and the breadth. Certain questions which I had in mind was already covered in your conversation, so I didn't want to go into detail about it. One message, final one message. This I asked to all my all my guests. One final, not a tip, I would say, a message that you want to give to people or IT new joiners, not just from the professional, but it can be a personal. One line message, what it would be before we call off this conversation.
Be curious, be learn, keep learning and keep growing. So be curious. If you are curious, you will learn, and if you
Right.
learn, if you will grow. So be curious, keep learning, keep growing. This is the mantra I will give you, and this is
Be
what the mantra I
curious.
follow.
Be
Be curious.
curious, keep learning, keep growing.
Yes.
So, to all the listeners of the podcast and watchers, viewers, please be curious, keep learning, and you'll keep growing. So, like to thank Devendra for his time, despite his busy schedule. On a day, he decided to turn up for an interview. And thank you, Devendra, for all your answers, especially the mentors part. I really love that particular way, how people around your friends, they became a bridge and they help you to make you rise to that level. Secondly, curiosity, learning, coming and learning every day, so important. And detailing, I love that portion. Detailing, when you go up for interview, show up anywhere. These are the aspects that I take personally today. It is a big learning for me also. After speaking to you for the past 30 to 40 minutes, it was a great time, Devendra. Thank you so much. And we will
Thank you.
we'll come
It
back,
was nice talking
and
to you.
hopefully in the future we'll have another kind of episode, maybe in
Sure.
detailing in some other portion of the technology. Thanks,
Sure.
Devendra.
Yep. Take care. Bye.
Take care. Bye.